And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, no, community court is there to solve the problem. See? Okay, everyone, all rise for the most honorable Judge William Law. I.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Take your seats, and let's get this started today. William Law III here. And, holy macaroni. I forgot to put my lunch in the fridge. Thank God I got another Velveeta cheese sandwich today. I'll just set it under here, my portable chamber with a tent.
Judge, if you want more cheese, my grandma went Costco and bought $400 of Velveeta.
Yeah, no, I have 422 pounds in my freezer out back in the garage, but Martha won't get to it. My wife loves a good chunk of Velveeta while she's got them little spoonful of Fritos out during the game she watches on Saturday. She likes to watch the roller derby games, but that's beyond this courtroom. What my private life is, so scratch that from the record there, court reporter. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have happening here today in my courtroom is I have a man here today representing the Strippers Union.
Calm down, Frank. Frank, I know he's a big man, but you don't need to attack him.
All right. Keep the dogs quiet in the courtroom. Mr. Skybridge, you represent the Strippers Union of the US's of A, minus one S. And I understand that you have filed a claim suing in the amount of $2.7 million against the Cadence Pole Dancing Schools International. And our defendant today is Mr. Barry Dangler. Mr. Skybridge, could you please tell me more about this lawsuit that you filed in my courtroom today?
Oh, Lordy, I tell you what, Your Honor. The Strippers Union dates back all the way back to the ancient Romans, when women were stripping high on wine for the man back then. And they passed down their legacy and all the traditions back to this day and age. And what the people doing over there at the Cadence Pole Dancing International School is teaching lovely ladies unsanctioned moves when they're up on that pole. And that just ain't right. That just ain't right, and Lordy, I don't ever want to see that again. And please shut them down.
All right, Lordy aside, could you please tell me what the unsanctioned move is there, Mr. Skybridge?
Oh, I can tell you a handful of moves that are unsanctioned. First of all, they twirl around like one of them twirly twirls that fall off the trees in the autumn of a good old summertime in autumn in the South. Secondly, they teaching the women to go up and down like a Sharpie that's being clicked in and out, which is not even acceptable because it drives a man crazy. I've seen people in some of them clubs that I have to frequent in order to make sure that my strippers is doing a good job. I've seen men's head pop like a grape from cognitive dissonance because they cannot believe what they're saying with their moves.
All right, just to get this straight, they're teaching a twirl around move and they're teaching an up and down move. All right, well, I need to ask Mr.
I have a video right here. You want to see it, Judge?
Okay, bailiff, can you take that video, please, and put it in?
Okay, hold on. Let me slide in VHS. Okay, Judge? Oh my good, this is from the Triple Rock Strip Club in Mobile, Alabama.
Yes, yeah, I see that. That's twirling around and that's going up and down. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God, Judge.
All right, turn that off. Turn that off right now, bailiff. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I know, Frank. That was exciting.
Mr. Dangler, how do you respond to this suit brought against the Cadence Pole Dancing School International?
Well, I don't know exactly. But what I have to say is the twirl-around move is called a double spindle. And the up and down move is called the Jacko-Rabbit. And those moves have been sanctioned by the National Pole Dancing Association of America. And all I know is we teach them by the book. They are by the book, they are taught as in the manual, and they are sanctioned, so I don't know where this frivolous lawsuit has come from.
Yo, Judge, the MPDA has not sanctioned them moves because we are trying to legislate that pole dancing is going to be an Olympic sport. And in order for us to get it into the Olympics, every single move needs to be judged, has to be choreographed, and it has to be sanctioned by the MPDA.
They are sanctioned, I have to say. They are sanctioned moves. I have the file right here in my pocket of the approved sanction move.
Could you hand that, Mr.
Stop, Frank, stop!
All right, get these dogs. Someone throw that.
Frank!
Spike, get you back in your dog kennel. I tell you, I'm going to sell you to the pound and make them pay you to get your man parts taken out, you dang
Sorry,
dog.
Judge, I left some beef jerky on the ground.
All right, I apologize to the courtroom. My eyesight is now up to 2200 in my right pupil, and I must have my dog Spike here, so just settle down. Give him a slab of velvet. All right, Mr. Dangler, I understand that I do see this, that you have filed for sanctionication with the two moves that you forementioned, but I do not have a receipt of payment or an approval date of these sanctioned moves.
Well, I have to say that probably they're not quite sanctioned yet. The paperwork was filed, which tells me they're sanctioned.
I know, sir, but they are not sanctioned, so are you lying to me?
No, I'm just saying they're not quite 100% sanctioned certificated.
Oh, Lordy, Judge. Nothing ever gets sanctioned without the approval of the Strippers Union, and I ain't never seen this document before.
I understand, sir. I did call him on that maneuver, and I don't believe he lied. I just think he's a little less than what you and our brains synapsally are firing right now. So what I need to do is I need to ask you, Mr. Bridge, we're on a budget in the courtroom. Would you be willing to drop your $2.7 million suit to a lower amount before I continue with this case?
Well, let me just perplex over there. Well, yeah, okay. I would say I'd be willing to drop it to $1.5 million because imagine all the men that are going to be dying if they see these moves. And that's expensive to clean up a club. And also, imagine on the Olympics when 1 billion people is watching pole dancing and all of a sudden people from all around the world, from Ethiopia, from the Uganda,
Mr. Bridge,
from Argentina,
you got some lungs
to the great skies of Japan, man's hair be blown up like a grape.
All right,
Frank,
sir.
calm down. Don't bite, Mr.
I'm going to
Bridge.
duct tape a piece of Velveeta to your mouth, Mr. Bridge, if you don't give some respect to this courtroom. Now, dogs and humans alike, I need you to settle down. All right, Mr. Barry Dangler, anything you'd like to say in response before I make a ruling?
Well, what I'd like to say is I would like to countersue on the spot for $1.6 million.
Well, that's a little irregular, but I'll take it into consideration. All right, after giving this much consideration for the last second, I must tell you folks that I am going to wipe out the 1.5 and the 1.5 countersuit. I'm going to award this case to the defendant, Mr. Dangler. And, sir, I do approve these moves, and I'm going to go watch this video in my chambers, and that's my ruling.
Stay tuned for Talking Points with Shabazz Davis. And make sure to give the Wincast your suggestions during the break on what topic Shabazz should swing a bat at. Next on Mile High Sports Radio.